Today we're going to be installing Broadway coilovers on the Altezza. So basically I'm going to show you guys what bolts going to come off. This is a 12, so 3 12s on the top. Then I'm not using no power tools, by the way. Then a 10mm for the brake hose that's connected, the bracket. You take that off the old strut or coilover that you have, and then down here is 2 bolts. That's a 17, I believe. See, 17. And that fits right there. And I got my ratchets. So I don't have my tripod, so I'll just show you guys the 3 set of bolts you gotta take out, and then I'll take back a video of pulling the coilover out. So first I'm actually gonna take out the bracket. Then after I'm gonna drop the bottom one, and then I'll drop the 3 on the top last. Bracket off. Now the bottom bolt is a 17. See how it turns? And where's the back bolt? See, the back bolt is not spinning, which is good right now. Let me take this out. And take this one out. And you could leave it right there and take a hammer and then just hit it out. And then just drop these 3 and it should come out. Punch and it should come out, or even an old flathead. The bolt comes out, you just pop it out. After you pop it out, you can just shift it. And then you can just pass it through. Hold on, I gotta use both hands to see what I'm doing. You reverse, you just put the bolt back in on the bottom. First, you gotta catch the top. And then, since these are used coilovers, you take a hammer, or if you got the wrench, and you just loosen this. Once you loosen this, you could turn this piece to adjust the height while it's on the car. The shorter it gets, the lower the car goes. And then this is for the tension, well, the preload. So you could turn this to tighten it up so the spring doesn't have any play. If the spring has play, then you have to tighten this up. That's for your preload. I test fitted the wheels. I was trying, and I don't have enough camber. So what I'm gonna do, I don't feel like dropping the whole arm, so I'm gonna just loosen all these bolts, which is an Allen key on the ball joint. And then I'm actually gonna flip the ball joint and hope, once I flip it, hopefully the spindle doesn't hit the coilover. But we'll see, and I'll update you guys on what happens. So take out these 6 bolts, and this is gonna come out, and there's a plate on top of it. Make sure you take that out too. Flip the ball joint 180 degrees, put it back in, because this V shape is gonna go more in, and then you'll get more camber that way. A few extra degrees, but it helps out. The ball joint when it's out, that's the top plate that catches the bolt on the top to keep it locked in. So look, this is how it was, right? Let me see if I can angle it. And now if I flip it 180 degrees, see how it's now all the way back here. So I'm gonna bolt this back up in that position, put the spindle back on, and hopefully it doesn't touch the coilover. I do have shortened and tilted spindles, but I gotta get a top hat for these coilovers for clearance. So let's see how this works out with the regular spindles, and if it doesn't hurt to record and do it with one hand, but this is how I'm doing it. I'm holding the top plate with my fingers on the top, and then first I caught the first bolt in the front, and then I catch one diagonal straight across in the back. And after those 2 catch, then I'm gonna put the rest and then tighten up everything, and we'll see why it's flipped and we're good to go. We got clearance right here, so now we're good. Everything is tightened up. Remember, this right here is a major part. The smallest part, this is the one that came out. I don't have a new one, so I tried to like straighten it. I'm gonna see if it actually fits back in. Yep. Make sure you put your cotter pins in. I'm gonna put it in, and then I'm gonna take a pliers and bend it back. Cotter pins are very, very important. You don't want this nut to back out. If this backs out and you hit a bump and this pops up, your whole wheel is falling out. Not falling out, but it's coming forward. It's gonna come forward and fuck up your fenders and everything. You don't want that to happen. Test fitted the wheel, and I have like this much gap, so I'm about to adjust the height. I forgot to show you guys how to adjust the height. So basically what I do is loosen the bottom ring, and then you just turn this. But since these are used coilovers, they don't turn that easy. So I put this hook, and I just turn from the top. So basically, how you could tell is you just turn this locking ring, and when you turn this, if it's going down, like this locking ring is going closer over here, then this is getting shorter, which means the car is getting lower. If the locking ring is going up, then you're raising the car. And that's about it. So what I do is I turn this a little bit, and then I start turning this. Once this gets a little closer, then I turn it more, drop the car, and then test it, and then see if I gotta adjust the height a little bit more up or lower. So I forgot to mention that, but that's about it. This is the rear now. So that's the toe arm to adjust the toe. That's the lower control arm for camber. And this is the upper control arm. So right now I'm just adjusting the upper. So basically you just loosen these two, the back and the front. And then you just turn the middle one. So I measured it with my phone. You could just use, well, I have an iPhone. So I use the measurement app, and then you use the leveler. And then you just turn this, and you'll see if it's going, if the camber is going up, as in a higher number, or the camber is going lower. And then you just keep dialing it in. Right now I'm at -7, and I'm gonna push it to like -9, and then the fitment should be good in the back. And then I'll show you guys how that looks. So I have forgot to make a video of the car when it was done. So I'm gonna show you guys how everything is sitting. So this is the front. I got the camber to match pretty decent. Remember, all this was done in his driveway, so everything is not gonna be perfect. But that's the front. Sits pretty flush. So I ran the camber just enough, so if the wheel hits, the coilovers is pretty stiff, it's gonna go up into the fender. So that's why every time I do my fitment, I always leave a little room, a little travel room. I drove the car and everything. I drove it all around for like maybe 3 hours. Fenders are still good. Fitment is pretty decent in the front. So in the front, I still have my fender liner on and everything. I didn't remove my fender liner. It's not rubbing, it's not scraping. I can fully turn the wheel to the right or the left, no rubbing. So the front is good. So for the front, I'm running, I didn't take it to the alignment shop. I used the measurement app on my phone. It was -9 in the front. And then the rear, we have more tilt. Because the rear is tucking a little more. But still, it's like I said, when it tucks in, it clears the quarter panel. So if I hit a bump, this wheel is gonna go inside the quarter panel. I drove it, quarter panels are still mint. So the fitment is pretty much slightly tucking. The rear is at -12 right now. I didn't adjust the lower arm, not one bit. I just did all this off there. Let me see if you can see it. So that's my clearance right now. I don't have that much clearance. Oh, there it is. The bolt in the back you see for the lower arm, it's closed all the way, so I didn't adjust the lower arm. I just closed it up. The axles are still straight, slightly bent. And then the upper arm I can still adjust more, but I got it right to the point where the wheel just tucks in. So basically when I drive it and I hit bumps and stuff, the fitment is still good. And I actually took apart these lenses and I made them into clear tails. It actually doesn't look bad. That's how everything looks. I ordered the clear centers because they actually make those. It was like, I think $30. But I ordered that and I'm waiting on that to come in, and then I'll do the other side, the clears. I'll probably make a video how I did that. But that's how the car is sitting. -12 in the back and -9 in the front. Don't forget, that's the brand, Forever Down Bad. I got a couple t-shirts. Y'all should check it out. Let me see if I can get a whole video how it looks. Zoom out. Yep. And the other side in the rear is actually tucking. Damn, I can't really get to it. But this side I gotta lift it just a little bit so it can match this side. That's the only thing. It's just like that much off. But once I do those clear tails on that side, I'll adjust that coilover and everything. I know I didn't make a video installing the rear coilovers, but basically I'll show you real quick. This bolt right here, this bolt, that's the coilover. So you just take this out, take this bolt out, and then depending, you might have to drop this control arm. There's a bolt back here. You just take that bolt out. You don't have to take out the stabilizer link. Just take out this bolt in the back. Drop the lower control arm a little bit. Once these two bolts are off, it'll drop a little bit. You pull this strut out after you loosen the 3 top bolts in the trunk, and then you could pull it from the top down this way, and then just shift the coilover out, and that's about it. And you should be good on that. But the rear coilovers was actually pretty simple. But yeah, these wheels look amazing though on this car. You know, there's a lot of cars that's low, like dumped all the way, but this is my type of fitment. This is how I like my cars to sit, where it's nearly, you know, flush. And the thing is, when it's driving, it look like it's fender to lip. Even though it's not fender to lip, it's basically almost there. But yeah, that's about it for the car. I'm about to cover it back down, and when I come back to work on it, then, you know, next video, well, next setup I'm gonna actually run more camber in the front. I have all the parts for it, but I kind of want to enjoy this setup for a little bit and then go from there.